This image you see here, it represents a young child. This child is lost in a crowd of people. This child doesn't know who they can become. They lack love, care. This child is very vulnerable to the crazy world. This is what many children like I have gone through. At the young age of 2.5 years old, I was adopted from China. I was adopted from the Anhui province in China. Some background on China's one-child rule include that it started in 1979 as a result of the growing population. Due to this growing population, people were unable to eat as there was a lack of food. China implemented this rule because they wanted to make sure that people would get food and they wouldn't be starving. Due to it, China is the #1 country in the world for international adoption. According to the State Department, from 1999 to 2018, American families have adopted 81,600 children from China. I am a part of that 81,600. Now you may be wondering, what does this have to do with my adoption? Well, in China, certain times, a boy would be viewed as more valuable compared to a girl. This may be due to the fact that a boy can carry on the family last name. This is very important in the Chinese culture as they wanted to carry on their family name and legacy. For me and my personal story, I don't necessarily know why I was adopted, but I know that it came with its hardships and its ups and downs. For me, I had lost part of my culture and my identity and comfort, but I gained something that was far more valuable. I gained a very loving and caring family that helped me work through this process and helped me discover who I am. When you think about my adoption, you can compare it to nature versus nurture. Prior to my adoption, I was in my nature. I was surrounded by people who looked like me, talked like me. I just fit in. It was in my blood. But after my adoption, I gained nurture and care. I was given a family to love and take care of me, something I really wasn't given when I was in China. I was a part of the orphanage and foster care system. We were a bigger family full of many children who didn't have parents to take care of them. We were part of a system and we were taught the basics of living. We were taught how to eat, how to drink, and how to go to the bathroom. But we weren't ever taught values and morals. We were only taught basics of living, and we weren't ever given individualized care to grow and become different people. Through adoption, the family that I got is a very loving and supportive family. They helped me to move past that loss of identity and comfort. Because they were very honest with me from a very young age, I had grown up with the fact that I was adopted. It didn't come as a surprise later in life. Unfortunately, my adoption came with some hardships as I came to the US. How do you bridge the gap between two cultures that are on different sides of the world? Two completely different cultures. For me, it was the American culture and the Asian culture. Oftentimes, I would find myself in awkward situations in school, explaining to my fellow peers what adoption meant. For many of my fellow peers, they didn't know what that meant. For me, I thought it was the normal because me and my sister were both adopted. Oftentimes, it would leave me questioning my identity and who I was. When you come across the classic family tree project or a grandparents project, oftentimes I would draw blanks because I didn't really know who my family was. I knew my adoptive parents, but I didn't know who was biologically related to me. And oftentimes it would lead to awkward presentations and trying to explain what that meant to my peers. Thankfully, my family is so culturally diverse. My mother is Filipino and my father is European, and my sister and I are both adopted. Because of this, I didn't have to fit a certain mold when I was adopted. I was already loved and accepted, and thankfully, since they were so honest with me, I was able to grow up accepting I was adopted. And because we appreciate so many of these different cultures, I still embrace my Chinese side. We go out for dim sum occasionally and we celebrate Chinese New Year. And we also celebrate the different religions, as my father is Jewish and my mother is Catholic. Thankfully, to my very loving and caring family, I was able to heal from that loss of identity. We are all culturally different, but the love that we're given allows us to heal from those differences and allows us to heal from that loss that we may experience. Thank you.